All right, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Not quite sure what happened there, but lost my internet for a brief moment. Should be back live and running. Sorry for that, guys. Not quite sure what happened. Okay, a couple things, right? We're now seeing SPY make lower lows. We're going to be a little bit cautious here on these pullbacks. AMD, right, not exactly sustaining this breakout here yet either. So again, right, being relatively cautious here. Position sizing wise, right, I don't know if $1.86 is reasonable-ish. I could go half size there. So I would not be opposed to that. We just want to make sure that we're not getting crushed here, chasing a high, right? Okay, so we're getting a better look opportunity right now. We're seeing a bit of a bounce, right, occur on the indexes. So a little bit more interesting here. So watching NVIDIA for sure. So still want to see a decent pullback here, right? And would like to ideally see a pullback under that 570.50 area. And then it's a half size opportunity right at that spot. The deeper pullback I can get, the bigger position sizing I can go for. So close still, but no cigar yet. Still need to see a pullback, right? Still need to see a pullback here. Okay, still about $1 to pull back, right? $1 to pull back. Okay, now watching indexes here again, right? SPY possibly cracking. So I'm going to look for a deeper pullback than that 470.50 area, right? Going to look for a deeper pullback here now. All right, my biggest fear here today is to get caught on the wrong side of index cooperation. So if I start to see index misbehaving, I'm going to be more conservative than being more aggressive, right? And being more conservative in this context generally means buying yourself more time to make that decision, right? So for me here today, the way I can buy myself more time to make that decision is to wait for a deeper pullback and essentially artificially create, right, that time. Okay, so watching here, making sure the indexes do not make a lower low. Right, I'd like to see them ideally find some support here off of these lows. Okay, so watching here, right? Watching here. I got indexes on my left. I got NVIDIA here on my right. But guys, I'm stuck in the middle with you. So let's see if we can get ourselves the right reaction here. But yeah, watching SPY here, just a little bit too close to these lows for my liking. Just feel like this is going to make a lower low here now. Okay, a little bit better. Still no interest here. Maybe should have had. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons, right, to not be interested in this yet. Like, I'm still not very convinced that we found lows on the index. Right? So if I still think the index isn't going to cooperate, then, or the index isn't cooperating, then I can't really say that NVIDIA is going to cooperate too, right? That's a little bit of a contradiction. So I think there's too many elements here that are telling me opposite stories, and that's got to slow you down. So still feel pretty confident we've made a good decision here not rushing this. But I got to be cautious still, right? Like indexes, as much as maybe they have now bounced a little bit off of those lows, it's hard to call this very decisive price action here regardless, right? Much of the same mess as we saw there yesterday. Slow, kind of grindy open where maybe it gives us a little bit of direction later on in the afternoon. But I'm not being told I have an edge here. At least not yet, right? Great entry, Joe. Great entry. Yeah, see there, like you're waiting for that type of a pullback, getting that extra even $1.50. Yeah, it makes a great difference. So I would start thinking about de-risking here a little bit. But up $1 per share, I'm just still a little bit nervous about that index. But if you could scale out here about $1 per share, I think you're laughing pretty nice. And then just get to risk-free to see if you can push this up towards that 575 area. But that's a great entry, man. Congratulations. Yeah, you're in great shape here now, Joe. Nice work. So I would say next scale out here, you'd start to think about, yeah, have half off maybe on that big pop through 572. And then from there, right, you can push your stop loss to your entry price and hold a couple runners up towards high of day. But yeah, great work, man. Nice entry. So yeah, watch this pop here through 572. And then you might be able to get like a 572.30, 572.40-ish even potentially. But yeah, really well done. Well, I don't know if you need to give yourself FOMO from that, Greg. The question you need to ask yourself here, right, is would I have done anything different? Or should I reasonably have done anything different there? And then if you're not happy with that process, then okay, right? That's when you can start to ask yourself questions. That's when you can start to do yourself whatever. But we want to be judging ourselves based on the process of our decisions, not the outcome of them. If we start to think about the outcome too much, then inevitably we skip steps and we don't take our process as seriously as we should. So, yeah, maybe you could have made a few dollars. Maybe you would have had a great trade. But if you skip a step in your process or you change something, then you can't really hold it against yourself for doing something that you thought was going to save you money, right? That's ultimately why you made that decision. So now you need to think about, okay, was my logic, am I happy with that logic in as a form of protecting myself? And then from there, okay, yeah, you can figure out what you want to do, but I wouldn't allow you to, you shouldn't allow yourself to create FOMO like that. So yeah, that pop there, right? That's your scale out or your second scale out there, Joe. So Igor, I would ask yourself here, right? What made you afraid that it was going to fail? That would be what you want to write down in your journal, track that feeling. And then outside of market hours, you want to quantify if you were correct or not in doing that and how you can avoid that in the future. Now, I think at that 570.30, I'd say probably that anxiety that you had there maybe was from a position sizing or entry price. Maybe you felt like you got it a little bit early after I said I was going to wait for a deeper pullback. So I can understand how that would potentially create a little bit of anxiety in your decision. But yeah, try to think about that a little bit in your trade. Joe, you're in excellent shape here though now, right? Well done here. Congratulations on getting yourself a great play. And yeah, $3 a share, man. Congratulations. That's a great day at the office. Anyone still holding this? Anyone still got a few extra shares here? Hopefully this is turning you guys into a nice green week here all of a sudden as well. So congratulations. Really looking forward to seeing these daily debriefs, seeing what you guys have to your process, right? Share that process. Maybe someone can learn. I think that's where the daily debriefs are going to be really helpful for people, right? So Igor, for example, if you felt a little bit of anxiety in your trade, you know, if Joe or Rusty or Joel or Nate or Ruben or whoever, right, also took that trade, they can maybe share, hey, this is why I felt confident in taking it. And then you can kind of learn and steal ideas from people. So hopefully all of you guys are reading through those responses as well, thinking about how you can apply that to your trading. But yeah, really, really optimistic, really happy with it. And glad you guys are using that channel a lot. So not too much else going on for me here, guys, right? I'm not going to be taking a shot at this if it pulls back into my zone. So I'm working on a little project here on the side. I'll post in the Discord here in a second. But yeah, this is where you guys can be very helpful for me here. As you'll see here in a second, one of the things that I'm interested in doing is, I don't know if you guys have listened to the Founders podcast, but I think the Founders podcast is one of the most educational entrepreneurship books, maybe, or entrepreneurship podcasts that I've listened to. Always gives me new ideas, always gets me thinking. And what I love about it, right, is it does breakdowns about really famous autobiographies about people. And like business magnates, successful traders, athletes, whoever. And that got me thinking, right? There's not really a version of that for traders, right? There's not quite something along those lines. Now, obviously, I don't think I'm going to do a long form piece of content like that. I think that's a little bit exhausting and maybe a little bit above my pay grade. But what I want to do is create short form content that is basically like a chapter summary of each book. So Trading in the Zone, for example, has 10 chapters. I reckon if you do like a minute to a 2 minute long video on each chapter, kind of highlighting what the key concepts are, what the key elements are, and how you can apply it to your trading and how I apply it to my trading, I think that could be a really educational short form bit of content. So like I mentioned, I'm starting with Trading in the Zone as the first book for this series. And hopefully this will go well. There'll be 10 videos that come out over the next 10 days or so. And hopefully, like I said, it'll be very powerful. And yeah, you guys will learn a lot from those videos. But if there's other books, right, other topics that you want me to basically do these chapter by chapter summaries, please share those suggestions with me, and I'll be happy to put together those pieces of content. But I think this will be pretty kick-ass. I'll upload it into the Discord here in a minute or two, or whenever it is finished uploading and stuff like that. But would be very happy to get feedback on what you guys think of this content too. And yeah, always happy to try to create entertaining but visual idea. Yeah, Bollinger Band book, I've got a lot of content there as well on Bollinger Bands already. So I'm not sure if that's the right book. It would be more stuff on, yeah, like breaking down a specific indicator, maybe not the most interesting for a book. I could do an indicator specific series potentially, but books about indicators will not be super popular, I would imagine. Yeah, Atomic Habits would be a good one. My primary focus, though, would still be to do trading-based books initially, and then venture out into other ones. Because there's a lot of content already on those books. So I don't want to double dip, you know what I mean? So I want it to be unique and specific to traders. I mean, it's making lower lows. I have no interest in this. Right? That little fake out there, extended Bollinger Bands, telling me at least that it's probably not in play. There's a lot of inside bars, a lot of indecision, a lot of dojis here this morning. A few outliers like this BA. Bit of a Looney Tunes, right? Pretty impressive. But everything else, I would say, doesn't look too appealing. Well, I would say there's a couple things I'd want to ask myself here, Gabe, right? Um, if my initial thesis was I wanted to see a pullback when I did, right, on this 15-min time frame, I'd have to ask myself, have I since seen the move that I would have expected since then, right? So that'd be the first question I'd want to ask myself. So do I think that NVIDIA has given me the A+ reaction or the A+ amount of follow through that I would have expected on my thesis? I would say based on information so far, probably no, right? It's not like it hasn't moved, but my thesis would have been moved towards 575, right? So that hasn't really happened here. And we've seen now a lower low, right, since our breakout candle or since our what would have been our entry candle. So that gives me less confidence that my original thesis is actually still in play because I haven't seen it necessarily behave the way I would have anticipated my thesis to, right? So from that, I would say that there's less reasons to think that this is still interesting. And then if I look at this on other time frames, like I don't have a 30-minute signal here. I don't have an hour-long signal here. So it's pretty much just that 15. And on this 15-minute time frame, I just don't think I've really gotten this thing to give me that oomph yet here. So yeah, I don't think that this has given me the a reason to think that there's still a reason to be interested. So I think like if I were to get in, the entry was when Joe got it, right? Like that was the perfect entry for this trade. That was the one entry where I would have confidence that my thesis still plays out. A pullback here into an appropriate risk reward entry zone would probably be invalidating the original thesis because it'd be a weak pullback pretty long after my entry. So it's kind of just one of those setups that gave us one opportunity pretty much. And then that's it. So I'm not, yeah, I don't think there's too much juice left in this for me to trade. Like if you're in this play and you have that buffer, yeah, there's a lot of potential and you'd be looking at this from a different risk reward bias. But if having missed this trade, I'm not being told information to get in, I should say. Now, Joe, if you're still here, you're still watching, hopefully you've scaled out a majority of your position at this time or by this time. 50% would be probably the sweet spot ideally here. But dude, you're in great shape. $3 a share. See how much follow through you have or how much juice is left in the squeeze. But well done, man. You're making me very jealous. Yeah, that's perfect. I don't know what your I guess personality is for swing trading, but you got yourself one of those entries where if you can get like follow through here today towards 580, then you have a swing tradable chunk you could hold. So you've seen big gap ups with Nvidia. Now I'm not saying that it would definitely sustain, but if you have that like 3 or 4 or 5% of buffer, then there'd be an opportunity there. But honestly, I'm just jealous of your entry. Any questions here, team? Any questions? You guys want to go over? Not the busiest of days. Kind of a weird week. Man, why didn't we just hold on to our BA position from Monday? Be up huge, guys. See, I'm on hands. I don't imagine I'll be placing a trade here rest of the day. No edge. Joe, this is turning into an epic win, man. Let's go. Sounds good, Nate. Have yourself a great day, dude. Sounds good, Ruben. We'll see you tomorrow, man. Sounds good, Gabe. We'll see you tomorrow. Nice work, Joe. Great follow through on that play, man. Congratulations. Joe, at this point, if you have any left, right, I would try to hold out for like 580. Certainly seems like you could be in play here. You're getting good market cooperation. So yeah, see if you can close out if you have a final chunk left, bit extra follow through. But honestly, man, I have not too much to say. You absolutely crushed it on this one. Have a great day, Greg. We'll see you tomorrow, man. That's awesome. Honestly, so stoked, Joe. That's an incredible trade. Hey, GD, how you doing? Any questions, team? Any questions? Anything you guys want to go over here? Otherwise, gonna take off in a minute or two. I do not do any connections or connect to TradingView with my Interactive Brokers account. I just execute things directly through my Interactive Brokers IBKR terminal, or whatever it's called. I don't connect to TradingView. I simply do all my charting on TradingView, execution through whatever execution platform I have. Awesome, Joe. We'll take a look at that. Appreciate you sharing that information. I'm sure people will find that very helpful. Guys, any final questions here? Final call for questions. Final call for questions. All right, guys, if no further questions, I'm going to kill the stream here for the day. Same deal like always, right? If you have any questions, hit me up outside of market hours, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. But otherwise, have yourselves all a fantastic session. We'll catch up with a few of you in our one-on-ones here later this afternoon. And yeah, we'll talk then. Peace.